Welcome into Championship Monday. That's right. Most likely, you have already sealed up your fantasy football championship, or you have lost your fantasy football championship, or you are waiting for either Puka Nakua, Bajan Robinson, and others to go off tonight or to do ungood tonight for you to secure that fantasy football championship. Either way, no matter if you've already won, lost, or you're still waiting, we are going to celebrate you today on this show. We are doing a listener appreciation day. So go ahead and get your fantasy football championship rosters ready to post. I want to see them all. I want to recognize them all. That being said, let's get the show started.
You're watching Cold Brews and Hot Takes, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Welcome on in. And for all of you in, I need to know, can you hear this button? I don't know if you can. If you can't, if you can, I'm sorry. I just hit it 5,000 times. But if you can't, it's fine. I won't press the buttons anymore. I just decided to load up some things. But give me a thumbs up or a 1 or something acknowledging that you heard. Yeah, because it is championship. And we are talking your fantasy football championships. That's right. It's over. The season has officially come to an end. Championships have been handed out or taken away. Unless you're still waiting on, like I said, Bajan, Stafford, Tyler Higbee. I don't know who's playing tonight because my championships are wrapped up. But we will be talking about tonight's games. Don't worry. Congratulations. This message does not apply to you if you are still waiting for some certain players to go throughout tonight. The season's crazy, man. This whole season, we made it through another season. Now we have to wait 6 more months for a new season to start. But in the meantime, let's just go through it. We all had to wait for Mike Evans and Joe Burrow to come back and save us for our fantasy football season. Yes, they were out the first, 15, 12, a million games of the season. We had to wait for them to come, but they finally came back and produced. We had the ups and downs. Travis Hunter, he burst onto the scene, burst into our lineups, and straight to the IR to never be seen again, whether on offense or defense. Jackson Dart looked like the future of fantasy football right up until, your divisional round when he played the Minnesota Vikings. Reality hit pretty hard right there. Really, really hard. We had surprise appearances. We had cameos on the season. We had Phillip Rivers. We had Carson Wentz. We had Jameis Winston. We had Joe Flacco twice. And, of course, we had the Gardner Minshew appearance. At some point, it felt like a 2016 quarterback reunion tour, right? Like all the old quarterbacks were coming back. We were forced to ask some uncomfortable questions. Was Brock Bowers elite due to the volume? Was Malik Nabers elite due to the volume? Maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't the guy. Maybe he doesn't have the pedigree we thought. When your dad played his entire career with Peyton Manning, maybe there just wasn't a pedigree. Maybe he just played with Peyton Manning. Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. just isn't good at football. Maybe Trevor Lawrence is good at football. We really found a lot of things out this season, and there's questions all up in the air. And next year, we're going to be asking these same kind of questions about players that broke out this year. We witnessed real breakouts. Drake May, JSN, Tyler Warren, just to announce a couple. But we also said goodbye to some of our favorite legends of all time. Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones, and Russell Wilson. Names that carried us for years, and they have officially passed the torch. Well, kind of. I guess Alvin passed it to Taysom Hill. Either way, we say goodbye to those legends. Bye-bye. They won't be relevant anymore. It is it for you guys. 2025 was your swan song. It was chaotic, frustrating, unpredictable. But every single one of these weeks, they had highs and lows, and it was not boring. We had a great season, undeniably amazing. We literally had Davis Mills be a quarterback 1 this year in a week. Like, that happened. That's this year in a nutshell. But honestly, guys, this isn't the end. Because if it teaches us anything, we'll be right back in August doing our drafts, setting our draft boards, telling you why this person should be ADP this and that person should be ADP that. It's going to happen. Debates such as, is Luther Burden the new wide receiver one in Chicago? Is Shadir Sanders actually going to be the starting quarterback in Cleveland? No, it's Deshaun, but we'll get there later. Where should we draft Javonte Williams? Has Baker's flame finally burnt out? Is Ashton Jeanty just a guy? Is he just a guy? And will Drake May ever need a wide receiver one? And seriously, what's going to happen to Kyler? These are all things we're going to talk about in February, March, April, May, June, July, bleeding into August. So we'll leave all that discussion to then. Right now, it's about you and your fantasy football championships. I want to know who and why, who and why you won your league. I guess that didn't roll well off the tongue, but it is what it is. That's fantasy football. Not all of our championship lineups roll well. Like half of my team stunk to bed. If it wasn't for Drake May, I wouldn't be sitting here as the OG Madden Keeper League 2025 champion. 2 out of 3 years, buddy. That's right, all you home leaguers out there. So yeah, what's going on, Craig? Cam Scatterboo, yeah, Brian. Yeah, that was a tough one. He was there and he was gone. We saw a lot of that this season. Quinshaw Judkins, he was here, he was gone for different reasons. No injuries for Judkins except for the very last week. It's just he was just gone. You started him. I started him. It just wasn't effective. But we saw his greatness early on in the season. Craig, did you win any championships if you're still here watching? Because I'd love to know. If you posted in the Discord, I apologize. Did not see that this morning. I hope you, Craig, because you've been here since day one, won your championships. Brian, I got words for you, pal. I had Hunter Henry in my lineup until we hosted our Sunday show. And I rode with you. I said, Darren Waller, let's ride, baby. Let's do it. Well, he got me 1 point, whereas Hunter Henry got me 12. But I still won my matchup, so I'm not too upset with you, Brian. It's all right. We live and you learn, right? You understand? Want to give a big shout out to Jamar Chase for showing up this week. I'm definitely traded for you to win this championship in other leagues, and you just didn't show up until this week. So thank you for that. Who else had a great week this week? Drake May, like we said. Does he need a wide receiver one? Can anyone tell me if Drake May needs a wide receiver one? I don't think he does. I think he's that damn good, as Triple H used to say. Let's get into week 17, shall we? Players you may have had. No comment, Brian. Yeah. And I gave you guys a freaking parlay winner, suckers. If you followed us on Sunday, we handed out a bunch of winners. We also handed out a bunch of losers. The losers being Darren Waller. So I apologize for that to everybody watching. Why does Fantasy Pros make it so hard to minimize the screen and see also the finals for week 17? Why do they make it so hard, Fantasy Pros? Why does it make it so hard? Anyway, Stephon Diggs is close enough. He crushed it, but he's old. He's not going to be there much longer, you don't think, especially playing at a level that Drake May would need. But you're right, he is close enough. Craig says, stay with me. I had Cam and all messed up the last week before Sunday. I should have changed Kittle and also McMillan. Yeah, McMillan was tough. I should have put in Michael Wilson. I'm glad Drake May should be my quarterback one. Yes, Craig. Drake May is everyone's quarterback one. So if you were a champion, I guess we should discuss who probably got you there and who probably didn't get you there. We had this amazing performance from Drake May, 32.4 fantasy points. Didn't even play a complete game. Brock Purdy passed him last night through 37.9 fantasy points. So if you had these two players, you probably won a fantasy football championship. Oh, look, Jackson Dart, 25.1. Nice to see you, buddy. Glad you didn't play the Minnesota Vikings this week. Glad you were able to throw for more than, 13 times in a game. Lost at words. Get me back into it, LA Knight. We had Jackson Dart literally scored 23, 29, 19, 27, 26 bye week. Injury, 13.6 bye week, 23.1, 25.1. Jackson Dart is a complete baller out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere anyway. He is a baller. He should be rookie of the year. I ended up like 5th place out of 6 in my league. It's okay. Listen, we're not all going to win championships. They only hand out 1 championship per league. It's understandable. The league where I had the best team imaginable came in 4th place out of 12. I mean, things happen, injuries happen, Craig. You're stuck with the process. And just like anyone watching today, you stuck with the process long enough, you at least won a championship or you put yourself in a spot to win the championship. Genty was tough and Bucky. Yes, both Genty and Bucky really, really struggled at the very end of the season. Genty had that one game last week where he scored 30-something points, which is going to skew his fantasy football performance. But let's take a look at that. Let's look at weeks 14. Weeks 15. It's an extra week. I'm still stuck in the 90s, people. Let's look at through weeks 15 through 17 and tell you the best players in the fantasy football playoffs. Just you might not be aware of this. You might be aware. Either way, let's gonna have a fun process. And I can't see the chat because Fantasy Pros made it so difficult. Actually, they fixed it. Okay, there it is. Did you read Twitch chat too, or just YouTube? I have 5.0 lead, and he has quorum left. Am I cooked? 7-11 work. There is a league that I commish, and there is a manager who is 2 points away from winning the championship, and I don't want him to win. Now, I'm not a commish that will go in there and change rules like some other commissions I know do. Maybe the one that is going to go for the championship. I'm a fair and just commish. I just go by the book. Rules is rules. I don't alter rules like mid-season like some people do, possibly in the championship game that I'm talking about. He has Blake Corum. He's now by 2. I want Blake Corum to so badly not do it. For you and for my league, so the person doesn't win. Actively rooting against somebody. But it's okay. It's a lot of fun. I hope you're not cooked, but I think you are. I think you are, unfortunately. But I want Blake Corum to do so ungood. Unless Craig or Brian or any other viewer has Blake Corum, go for it. But for 7-11 work and for my sanity, I need Blake Corum to score under 2 points. So I'll be with you 7-11 work and be back tomorrow, because if it does happen, you'll see my pretty face at noon. Again, I'll be crashing Justin and Charlene's show to congratulate you, 7-11 work. Let's root for Blake Corum to be bad. I kind of drafted too many rookies. That was my issue when I first got into Dynasty a while ago, because you get this mentality of rookie fever. It's true. It happens. And I'm not saying this happened to you, Craig, but when you play in a ton of dynasties and you're drafting in March, April, May, and they're all just rookies and you're doing rookie mocks, you buy into the hype. You have people telling you Kyle Williams is going to be a breakout. I'm not naming names. I'm just generally saying. You have people telling you that Bronson Arroyo or whoever this tight end from the Seahawks is going to be some kind of Swiss Army tool, but it doesn't happen. You have all these things that people gush about all offseason, and we're going to do it again. Me less than others, but we're going to do it again. And we're going to talk about this player that, Bronson Arroyo here, this person that, and none of it comes true. Literally none of it ever comes true. But we do it over and over again. It's insanity. It literally is insanity. So for that, I say, yeah, we're going to keep doing it. Yeah, we love it. Don't draft rookies and redraft guys. Don't do it. They just don't come through. Unless, like, of course, they're Ash and Genty, first-round picks. They have a clear path to go. But think about all the rookies we talked about. Go back. Dude, just go use a Google search or whatever you want to use. Type in your favorite publication, independent publication, whether it be us, we're guilty of it, whether it be who I'm not going to plug anybody. Type in their just rookie breakouts in May article. See who Arroyo's going to be on a lot of those. All these players are going to be on a lot of those. But just because we just need content to talk about, guys. That's the truth behind the curtain. Anyway, Harvey did well. It took a while, but Harvey did do well. Henderson, the same thing. Like, even the players with success, like with baked-in success that should be there, like Henderson, there's no reason why Ramondre Stevens should have held him back, but he did. Judkins, he didn't get held back. His team held him back. but he had all the opportunities there. RJ Harvey, it took him for a while to get on the thing. Emeka Mbuka, would he have that same opportunity, or would he have that same pop if Godwin was healthy and Mike Evans didn't get hurt? Even with the rookies with a clear path, sometimes do fail you at first. Travis Hunter, man. I was on this show in a microphone saying Hunter, bold prediction, will catch 100 balls. I think he caught like 4. I don't even know how much he caught. It was bad. It's really bad. So rookie fever does happen to people, and it's because of the publications and the articles that are getting put out by the industry. I'm just going to say it. I'll put myself on blast. I'll put everybody on blast. It's what we do. We need to chill out, especially in the redraft. Anyway, that's my little thanks for all the rules. Yes, Craig. Join our Discord. Chat.fantasynowplus.com. Craig is a member of our Discord. We're always active. I'm not as much. I should be, but if you tag me, I will eventually come in there and say what I gotta say. Group chats and we don't get along, and Ryan can tell you that in the chat. We're in a real life group chat with real life text messages, and it's too much. Anyway, let's get to the fantasy football goodness players of the fantasy football playoffs from weeks 15 to weeks 17. Who won you the championship? Who were the players that got you over the hump? Quarterback one of that time period was definitely Trevor Lawrence. Not really blowing Brock Purdy away. He beat him by 3.6 points. That's not a lot, but he still beat him. Trevor Lawrence was just phenomenal throughout this entire fantasy football playoffs. His worst game was literally this week, 24.1 fantasy points, and it took 2 rushing touchdowns to get it. He truly was a magnificent player this season to watch, especially in the fantasy football playoffs. No way I'm not using my Rodecaster for audio. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Someone needs to call me out on that. Thank you, Justin, for calling me out that my audio wasn't plugged in. It's still not plugged in, right? But you guys are going to have to deal with this until I do get it fixed because I hate bad audio. Nothing worse than watching a podcast with someone with bad audio. I did have. Now I'm pissed. Now you guys are going to have to sit me and watch me fix this. There it is. It's better now. Do I have to go do my monologue all over again? Do I have to do it? I'll do it again. I want it clipped. I'll do a post and then we'll clip it. And you guys will be like, hey, I saw that live. Wait, that's a more polished version. Josh thought he was having a great show. You know, Justin, I was having a great show and I will continue to have a great show. And there ain't nothing you could do to change it. So go kick rocks. Go Chicago, wherever you are. Not worried about it. Yeah, Brian, blame you for that. Anyway, Caleb Williams, quarterback 5 in the fantasy football playoffs. He has actually been a tremendous find this season. He is going to be on top of everyone's breakout list of draft in 2026. You're going to see a lot of stats of his rushing upside, but he's not going to be the good thing about Caleb Williams is he's not going to hold the strong ADP as a Drake May, because Drake May is going to get real life NFL MVP talks, as he should. But I've been saying it all season. Caleb Williams is a sleeper, the true sleeper player you want for your Dynasty Superflex coming up. I know we're all doing Dynasty drafts coming up very, very soon. But Caleb Williams finishes quarterback 6 on the season overall. Of course, Drake May is up there, number 2. But, man, Caleb Williams really, really showed out for your fantasy football playoffs. In my defense, I was listening in the car, so I had no idea there was an issue. But, I mean, to be honest with you, Justin, if we had producers here at Fantasy Now Plus, which I want, we wouldn't have had this problem either. My producer would have said, hey, Josh, you know, but what do I expect? We're a professional company over here. What do I expect? You know, yeah. Running backs, Derrick Henry. Who had Derrick Henry in the fantasy football playoffs? Raise your hand. Put a 1 in the chat. Do whatever you got to do. I need to know this because Justin was sitting here on Blue Sky going, I forgot Derrick Henry was a real thing. I thought Derrick Henry was out of the league. And then he comes out here and has one of the best fantasy football playoff week ever. 45.6 fantasy points. Hey, boss, can we get a producer? What? Yeah. Maybe use those winnings from yesterday. Yeah. What winnings? What winnings, Justin? You mean the slip I gave away on our show on Sunday where I gave away winners? You would have tailed me. Anyway, Derrick Henry, you thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. Our boss, Justin, thought he was dead. Came out to be the #1 fantasy football running back of the playoffs in PPR format, scoring 78.4 fantasy points. Definitely took a while for him to get there. I definitely would prefer Chase Brown's stat line, who was the running back 2. In week 15, Derrick Henry put up 10 points, whereas Chase Brown put up 16. In week 16, Chase Brown put up 32.9 fantasy points, whereas Derrick Henry put up 22.8. And in week 17, yesterday, Chase Brown put up 29.1 fantasy points to, of course, Derrick Henry's 45.6. Chase Brown, definitely the most consistent player for your fantasy football playoffs. 1000% definitely paid off for the disastrous season he had up front. Man, I couldn't even tell you what he did before this, but I guarantee it wasn't the running back 2. Weeks 1 through 7, it was looking rough for Chase Brown, only putting up about 4 double-digit games in that time frame, and none of them above 15 points. So Chase Brown definitely stepped up his game and paid off for that second-round ADP where everybody took him. Josh won so much money yesterday. He's rich.
Not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Yeah, I'm rich. No, I'm not rich. J-Ro says, going to win 2 ships with Henry. That's awesome. I'm surprised you got there with Henry. And congratulations. Honestly, congratulations. I love to see fantasy football championships. Of course, go to the wide receiver position. One of the most, I guess, unsung heroes of the season. If he doesn't win, if we have an award on fantasynowplus.com, I didn't look over the awards yet. Justin told me, don't look, don't vote. So I didn't even look yet. But if we have like ADP value of the year or just overall value of the year, Chris Olave. Chris Olave is your guy. Chris Olave has scored 27.7 fantasy points for your fantasy football playoff matchups. That's right, 27.7. There's only one person better than that, and he plays tonight, and his name is Puka Nacua, who's been averaging 37.2, but he didn't play tonight, so he could either go down or go up. Either way, he's only about 9 points away from surpassing Chris Olave as the wide receiver 1 for your fantasy football playoffs. But Chris Olave, if he doesn't win value of the year in every single publication, from Fantasy Pros to us to ESPN to wherever, then they don't know fantasy. They're like, they just don't know fantasy football. They don't understand how fantasy football works, and they don't understand what a tremendous value Chris Olave was for you and for me all fantasy football season. Tight ends was kind of close. It was kind of gross. Trey McBride, of course, takes the cake here, but could be passed by Kyle Pitts tonight. On the trajectory of Kyle Pitts, he scored that 45.6 fantasy point performance in your opening week, in your wild card weekend per se. And then he went down to 18.7, which for him, you might as well call it a career day. 18.7 for Kyle Pitts. That don't happen often. So he has a game tonight, which could surpass Trey McBride as your tight end 1 this year for your fantasy football playoffs. No really big surprises here. Kittle is falling in 3rd place, which without playing week 17, Goddard won't pass him. Phantom won't pass him. Schultz, Chig, Loveland, Juwan Johnson. Like, there's a lot of players that aren't going to surpass George Kittle. So without Kittle tonight, or without Kittle last night,
he's still going to finish the tight end 3 for your fantasy football playoffs. That shows you how bad the tight end positions are in fantasy football. Man, but it's been a season. We're not going to stop here at Fantasy Now Plus. We're going to go on all off season long. We may take a break after the Super Bowl, but really we should be here all off season long. So guys, if you enjoyed this content all year, we really appreciate you. We are at 1,000 subs, like literally 1,000, not 1,001, not 999. We might be after this hideous show. Like I might make somebody unsubscribe. And if I do, I might get fired. So don't do that. Do the opposite. Subscribe to the channel. Get us to 1,001 so I have some leeway. Because if I come back on this airwaves and I lose another subscriber, I'm telling you guys, I'll be fired and I'll be exiled to another site that I don't want to name right now, but I might have to go there. So we don't want that. Oh, Justin said I'm subscribed. We don't want that, right? We want Josh Kimmel to stay here because I give you guys fire slips, some great content. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. From the staff we have at Fantasy Now Plus, there's no egos here. Behind the scenes, we're just like we are on camera as we are off camera. There's no power struggle. We had some people to get out. We got it right. And man, I can't believe the growth we've had all year. So this is from me to you on my 40th birthday. Exactly. Literally. I'm a man. I'm 40 today. I want to say thank you so much for being here all season long, from week 1 to week 17, from the ups and downs, the struggles, the bad picks, the waiver wire misses, the bad trades, the good trades, the lucky weeks, the bad weeks, the injuries, the concussions, all of it. All of it matters. And I'm glad that we were able to connect on that. We were able to communicate and speak and get you through all that process. So from me to you, thank you all. Have a great new year if I don't see you. If I'm not on this airways by then, Happy New Year. Hope you had a great Christmas. Until then, guys, this is Josh Kimmel on my 40th birthday. I'm a man. I'm 40. Come to me. Peace out, guys.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.